Welcome to The Opening Scene, the show highlighting TV, film, and theater in the DMV area. My name is Joy Lawson, and thank you for watching. Many of us love the festive season of Christmas, and there are many movies that help us enjoy the joyous occasion. In this episode, we sat down with part of the team from the movie A Christmas Bonus, led by writer and director Chaka Balamani. The family-oriented movie follows Marcus as he and his daughter move to the community to save a local community center from closing. Listen as Chaka and members of the team discuss their journey making the film and his unique casting process.
Oh, you smell good, Mr. Bradley. Oh, I'm so glad you're here to save us, Your Highness, Your King, His Majesty. I don't know what to call you. I'm just so excited.
Mr. Bradley is fine. You can let go of me now, dear.
Sorry.
A lot of times I feel like the stories that are coming from out of here are trauma-based, drama-based. I wanted to be able to make something that was a feel-good movie, but at the same time educate people about something that I was very passionate about, which was cervical cancer awareness in Black women. I was very intentional not to take people through the grieving process of a funeral, but I wanted people to know the dynamic of when you hear 50% of Black women that are diagnosed with cervical cancer, that is a large amount of people, and it hits where it's like, wow. But how do you tell that? How do you translate that into a film, in a story? So I felt like if I could place 3 Black women that were loved, that were celebrated still by the people that loved them, and I put them into the story, and the people that have dealt with their loss get a chance to tell what it's like to process life without them and still win, celebrate, remember them. It was more of, wow, these moments, these beats hit, and it brings you together to where you can still feel like I processed it, but you're not sad.
I hear you dancing at Miss Donna the other night. She's a catch, all right. Broke many a hearts around these parts. She may break yours, you'll watch out.
Ooh, honey, hating is such a sickness. You get well soon.
You know it was just a dance, right?
It's none of my business, honey.
I can't take this town anymore.
I talked with Chaka before we started shooting the film, and we discussed what type of film we wanted to make. That we wanted to be a high key film, a low key film, and I think we settled on a sort of exaggerated, dramatic look. So it both fed into the drama of the film, which it does have that sort of dramatic elements to it, but it's attractive enough where it can still feel like a comedy. So it was a delicate dance between what's too dramatic and what's too high key. And just finding that sort of middle ground was something we talked about, and I think we pulled it off, man. I feel like it's warm and dramatic, yet light enough to feel like a holiday movie. We took a lot of effort into making sure the backgrounds and the foregrounds always represented Christmas as much as we possibly could, and we really sort of played into our strengths and utilized what we had at our disposal. I think I'm most proud of how it flows, right? We took a lot of care into making sure the film felt as big as we can possibly make it, under the limited, under the circumstances that we were in. We tried to lean into making it a very large holiday film, as large as we can possibly make it, and also feel intimate, because ultimately the film is about family, right? It's about it has romance, it has humor, it has family elements, it has all the things that you want in a holiday film. So we wanted to make it somehow feel big, but feel small at the same time, and I think we pulled that off.
We didn't get awarded the PG County grant, so we self-funded everything. As far as the film is concerned, I literally raised somewhere around $30,000 to do the film. Besides myself, my wife, my mother, and my UPM that gave me a 4-figure investment, it was just all community investments. And I mean, people from your emails, your cell phones, people that knew you when you were growing up, They all came together and they said, I've seen the deck, I've seen your history, I love you, let's go do it. So that was huge for us. And that allowed us to be able to do what we do, like to be able to feed all these people. Because this is a huge film. When you see the cast, when you see it, when you see some of these sets, you're going to realize, like, wow, that's a whole basketball team. That's a whole choir. Independent films is usually 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 characters. And then, you know, you try to work with what you can. Maybe you have some extras in the restaurant. But to do these community centers, these, you know, it was a lot. But I'm so grateful to the donors that believed in us. Not me, but us, the arts.
It's my turn. Let me take a look at it here. No, relax, Dad. I got this. Now let's go back to the last lesson plan and find out what the problem is.
The problem is, I don't get the rules in the first place. To even figure out how to solve it. I don't get it. Why can't you just let me get a real tutor?
Playing Marcus was a little bit of a representation of me in real life. A single father, really close to his daughter. So that resonated with me quickly. And just hearing what Chaka, the details of Marcus and what he wanted and what he wanted, the audience to see, I was excited to play him. And I'm like, okay, I can do this, And working alongside Kenosha was a gem because we vibed off of each other. And, showing the vulnerabilities between one another as well as our challenges, it helped me become more Marcus, and definitely from the direction of Chaka. And sometimes I would say, Chaka, is that enough? And Chaka would he'd be quiet sometimes. And he's like, you got it, man. He would be real chill because sometimes I would think, am I doing this right? But he really told me that I was, embodying Marcus, which was cool. So it was fun, man. And like I said, being a single father, working with Chaka's daughter, Legend, who plays my daughter, it was even more of a gift because feeding off of her and her actor expertise at such a young age, it helped me, become Marcus as well. And I feed off of people when it comes to acting. A lot of folks say that, oh, Mike, you've been in this, you've done this or that or whatever. But the fact of the matter is that I learn how to be a better actor from others as well as from the director. But at the same time, I'm a team player. I'm like the blue collar actor. So I like to, feed off of others and give my feedback to them as well, so that we can all be, like the 1993 Dallas Cowboys, championship. Way back.
So you'll be leaving Brandywine after Christmas, right?
No, actually, I'm going to stay.
Well, isn't that something? Look, if it's okay with you, I'd like to go out there tonight by myself, just like this was any other concert, okay?
Oh, wow. Donna was great. Donna was really a dream in many ways to portray. I've been very grateful and lucky to do roles that have allowed me to be outside of myself, or outside of who I really am deep down inside. But really taking on Donna really ignited kind of my heart because she lived in my heart. And so I really was just appreciative to have a character that I could, for the first time, really see what she saw, really feel what she felt, could understand not only the struggles that she had before, her strengths, but then also her vulnerability and that moment and those moments that she leaned into them. So I think just being able to have the ability to not only portray her, but then also develop her. I told Chaka, like, probably all the time, like, I'm so grateful to be able to bring her to life and hopefully bring her to life in the way he saw her being. But I think I will probably always carry her with me. I remember the moment of getting to the script where all of a sudden this quintessential, loving, very nurturing woman who was extremely attached to everyone and who had gotten to a point of, maybe letting her guard down a little bit. And then all of a sudden, she was hit a little hard by something. And, the scene that I remember, because we actually, I think we probably have some background of it from, kind of doing some readings like right here of it. And I remember Chaka saying, okay, this is the moment that out of everything turns the page. And for everybody who may have loved this man going forward and was rooting for Marcus, and now it is your job to make them hate Marcus. And I remember being like, okay, I gotta really bring that not only that anger and that pain and that sadness, but also that kind of deep surprise almost to, to this moment, because not only was it something that Donna didn't expect, but I think that the audience is going to be like, what in the world? But having to really exude that. And so it's one of my favorite scenes, only because it really challenged me to not only have a different perspective of the person that I had just kind of allowed myself to feel comfortable with, but then it was like, okay, how am I going to not only convince the audience that this is a really not a good person, but convince myself that I also now have to have this like attitude towards him that, hasn't really played out. And so really bringing that, but I mean, Chaka was really great. I mean, he really talked me through that, not only the day that we filmed it, but prior to, we constantly, he said, I need you to give it to him. You got to give it to him. He's got to like really regret in every single bone of his body what just happened. And, I hope we did that.
You did. And she did, and I blame Shaka for the script and coaching her to really, really bring it. So we had some really good, feed between each other when it came to that scene.
So sit down hands in his past. Yeah, hit with that move. Then this band.
Well, if it isn't the ghost of Christmas past, or is it the Grinch today?
Yeah, by humbug.
One of the things that I'm known for in this area is that I do kind of live action table reads. So when you come to audition for me, it's not the typical process where you stand in front of 6 or 5 people at a table and you're given a side, maybe a cold read side or a side that you've gotten on an email and they said, we've chosen you to come in and read. And you get 2 minutes in front of people that are going to make decisions about something that could change the rest of your life. I didn't feel like I could make those type of decisions in that style. So what I would do is invite people that I appreciate or I have, just a respect for their work. I ask them to come out. I say, can you commit 3 to 4 hours? We're going to do a full live action table read, and I'm going to put you in with the whole cast. Everyone that's going to be around you in your scenes, we're all going to be here, and we're going to read all the way through. So now I start to see the chemistry. And what happens is the actors start to relax. They don't feel the same pressure as I only have 2 minutes. I got to get this in. What they do is they say, oh, we're here live in this area. And we're shooting, like where we're shooting at right now is where I have a lot of my reads at. And so they get to stand up, they get to move around, they get to feel each other's energy. And you know what happens is with actors is when they see it, they say, oh, I can't wait for my second time. You know how many times I've been in an audition and said, man, I wish I had a second opportunity. If I had just did this right, you get in the car already and start breaking down. Man, if I had just made this different change or this different choice, even how we found our lead, our original lead wasn't our lead. And Legend came in and she filled in on the day that the lead was coming in and doing a concert. She, was having to do another event. Legend came in and read for the part. She was another character in the movie. And when she did it, it all made sense. Not only for the fact that she did such a great performance, which Legend is an actress. She's been acting since she was 2 years old. But it was the fact that it showed us that we didn't need a 19-year-old. We needed somebody a little bit lower in age. So seeing the 2 lines delivered by 2 different ages made all of the world of the difference. And we knew we need to go younger. It needs to be 9th, 10th grade, not senior. So those are the type of things that you get the advantages of finding it in that style.
All right, I'm going to head back to work.
Dad, Why don't you stay and ask Miss Derrick for a dance?
We've got a few deadlines.
I would love to dance.
Also, that would be inappropriate.
Dad, it's bad enough everybody's in here looking at you like you're an op. Do you really want them to think you're a clone? Look, do what you want, but I think you have a good story. Plus, the band isn't even here yet.
Very funny.
I think that this film was more about showing how we can all come together as a community of artists, of individuals, and make something that we can all be proud of. Honestly, I feel like these films last forever, and if I have any message that I want to give to the world, I feel like love just conquers all. I feel like we spend so much time wanting to feel loved and accepted, and to feel like we're in a space of safety where we don't have to defend ourselves, we can just be ourselves. And I feel like film gives me the opportunity to reflect that, to show that we're individuals, that we're all just trying to figure it out. We grandly act like we know what's going to happen if our TV gets turned off tomorrow, but honestly, we don't. So what are the things that you have to hold on to? Is the memories, is the moments that matter. There are going to be days that you'll never forget in your life. Like today will be one day that we'll all be able to say, man, I'll never forget that day. We was in that basement. But think about all the days that you lived. Can you remember all of those? No, but these moments matter, and I feel like film brings that to life.
As always, we thank you for watching and sharing the series. We will see you for our next episode. And remember, your story is waiting to be seen.